This is the Ford Ranger Raptor X, the flagship farewell version to the best ute on the market in Australia. It's got all the Raptor traits that we've come to expect, like the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres and Fox shock suspension, but it adds a few extra exterior elements to give it the X factor. Things like more black on the outside, like these Mustang muscle car inspired over-the-top stripes. But is it just a show pony? Well, that's what we're going to find out in this review. We're going to put 1,725 kilos of cherry picker on the back and see how it goes, or more importantly, how it tows. Back when the first batch of PX Rangers launched, the most expensive variant was just over $50,000. More and more models arrived, including the at the time very expensive Wild Track, and then prices rose again for the facelift and kept getting higher as time went on. But when the Raptor showed up, the price for a Ford Ranger was higher than ever, and the Raptor X, it's close to $80,000. It's expensive, yes, but street presence comes at a price, and there's plenty of presence here. Obviously, you know all those Raptor elements, the Fox shocks, desert-tuned racing suspension, and you've also got those KO2 BF Goodrich 33-inch tyres. They are fantastic, but there's also a wider body for the Raptor model than the regular Ranger, and that makes other Ranger buyers very jealous. You can read all the details of what you get and what you miss out on, because there are a few of those things as well, in my full detailed review at the CarsGuide site. You'll find the link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. The Raptor X gets red-edged body stripes on the bonnet, roof, tailgate and sides, black extended sports bar, red front recovery hooks, and the red edge theme runs inside the cabin with red stitching on the dashboard and steering wheel, and there are new interior trim finishes too. There are sports seats with a leather and suede finish and electric adjustment up front, and an 8-inch touchscreen with sat-nav and smartphone mirroring. As for the practicality in the cabin, it's just as good as it's always been. So there's these centrally mounted front cup holders, there's a covered center console bin, which is a decent size. You've got big door pockets as well, and there's a 12-volt port down here, plus 2 USB ports, one for your smartphone mirroring, and a third USB port up here, so you can plug in a dash cam to it. In the back, there's a 230-volt power outlet, so you can charge up your tools on the move. If your Raptor X is a work truck and you need to share it with the apprentice, you've got a lucky apprentice firstly, but you might want to consider downloading the Ford Pass Connect app, which just allows you to keep an eye on the location of your ute at all times. Make sure they're not setting out on a Simpson desert crossing without you knowing about it. You can also start the engine or turn it off, or you can also heat or cool the cabin. Just don't haze your apprentice by turning the cabin heat all the way up while they're not expecting it. That's not cool. If you've seen any Ford Ranger review, you'll know that the backseat space is among the best in the class for comfort and quality. Although I will say that this seat is a bit uncomfortable. Someone my size behind my own seating position, I've got enough room, there's no doubt about that. If you've got kids, there are ISOFIX points on both outboard seats, but just make sure you take the child's seat with you when you go to test drive, because fitting one is a pain in the bum. If you've done your Ranger research, you'll know that the tub is pretty big. Not big enough for an Aussie pallet, but definitely larger than some of its rivals. It's also got a 12-volt outlet in the tray as well, a tub liner in this spec, and there are plenty of tie-down hooks too. The Raptor X is exclusively a 4x4 dual cab, and you can only have it with Ford's 2-litre bi-turbo diesel engine, which comes exclusively mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And that might be perfect for you, or you might be annoyed by that, but let me tell you, it's the headline act in the ute segment, so don't be disappointed. It comes with selectable 4-wheel drive, a rear differential lock, and if you're wondering about towing capacity, well, obviously you are, that's why you're watching this video. It's 2,500 kilos, which is considerably less than the lesser versions of the Ranger. So if towing is your main game, buy an FX4, FX4 Max, or a Wild Track, or an XLT, or any of the other ones that can do 3,500 kilos. But a ute like this that costs this much should be able to hold its weight when it comes to pulling a load, shouldn't it? Well, let's find out if it can. I recently did a towing test with the Ranger FX4 Max, which adopts the Fox-Shox suspension but keeps the leaf springs at the rear, and it also keeps a 3.5 ton towing capacity, and it just felt much more ready for the job than this ute does. It does feel like you're asking a bit more of it when you do put 1.7 tons on the back. And look, it does have a 2.5 ton capacity, so anything more than this and you might start to feel a little bit uncomfortable with what's going on behind. Look, I'm not saying that the engine and transmission aren't up to it, they are, but it's more to do with the suspension and the way that it sort of wobbles and bobbles more than you might expect it to. It just doesn't have the level of composure at the rear axle that you might appreciate if you are going to be towing something heavy on a regular basis. So while we weren't exactly close to the towing capacity, you also have to keep in mind that the payload capacity of the Raptor X is considerably lower than the other Rangers at 714 kilos, and the gross combination mass is 5,350 kilos. So if you are planning to run with a big load in the back and a big load on the tow hook, then you need to keep that in mind and do your maths very carefully. It's not all bad news when it comes to the towing aspect of this ute. I will say that the steering is, as Ford Rangers always are, excellent. It's nice and light, but accurate enough. You can feel what's happening at the front axle, and that does make a big difference when you're towing anything large behind. Just want to have that sure-footedness as well. And the BF Goodrich tyres, they offer a really good amount of grip, and there's plenty of traction available to you as well, of course. And then you've also got this engine and transmission combination, which never feel like they're out of their depth when it comes to pulling this much weight. As we've seen in other towing tests with this 2-litre bi-turbo engine, that 10-speed automatic, it just does what you'd expect. It pulls and pulls and pulls. It's a really smooth operator, and there's plenty of gears to play with. 10-speed auto, so you've got a lot of cogs to choose from when it comes to descending hills or climbing hills. But like I said, the coil spring suspension on all corners does have an effect on the towing, I guess, comfort levels for me. I found it just a bit too floaty and wobbly over bumpy sections of road, and you might be surprised even on freeways just how much it will move around. Obviously that's going to depend on what you're towing. The cherry picker on the back is a bit unwieldy. It's quite long and quite top heavy as well. So if you're towing something that's lower, like a camper trailer or jet skis, it might be perfect. And just keep in mind that tow limit though. You can rest assured that you've got the safety tech that you need for the most part, of course. You've got lane keeping assist, and there's a load adaptive control system and also trailer sway control. And because our ute's got an electric brake controller fitted as well, that's another option you can choose at your Ford dealer if you want to. It's definitely something you need if you want to push over the 2,000 kilo towing mark, and it does offer you that extra peace of mind. Now, on the safety topic, there are a few missing items for an $80,000 ute. You don't get blind spot monitoring or rear cross traffic alert or adaptive cruise controls or even front parking sensors on the Raptor X. That's because of the different front end design. There's another Raptor going past now. They are popular, there's no doubt about it, but the question is, are you getting your value for money? I think you're getting a bit better value in a less expensive Ranger. On your screen, you'll see the on-test figure and the official combined cycle fuel consumption figure for the Raptor X. Now, the combined cycle figure doesn't involve any towing whatsoever. That's just what you should be able to get, theoretically, across a mix of driving. And our on-test figure is what we saw at the fuel pump when we did this test. We did quite a lot of driving, more than you'd probably do on an average day driving to and from the worksite, and it mixed up both highway, urban and backstreet driving just to give us a real mix of what you could expect if you are towing something about this heavy. As for other ownership costs, Ford backs the Ranger with a lifetime cap price service plan, which is great, and the first 4 years, or 60,000 kilometres of maintenance, is capped at $299 per visit. Intervals are annually, or every 15,000 Ks, and if you always service with a Ford dealer, they'll extend the roadside assist out to up to 10 years. There's a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is okay, but falling behind the likes of the Isuzu D-Max's 6-year plan, and Mitsubishi, which now offers a 10-year conditional warranty for the Triton. Unsurprisingly, the Ford Ranger Raptor X is really good at a lot of things, but it could be better when it comes to towing. It isn't necessarily designed to be a tow vehicle. Obviously, with the coil spring rear suspension and those Fox shocks, it's designed for off-roading and desert racing, less than it is about coping with a load like this. Now, we aren't pushing the limits of towing capability of this vehicle with this test, and I would warn you that maybe if you were pushing the limits, just to be careful, because it doesn't quite feel as competent a tow vehicle as other Rangers that we've tested. Tell us what you think in the comments section below. Would you choose a Raptor X if you were going to be regularly towing something? Or would you choose a Ranger at all? We'd love to hear from you. And hit us up with a like, a subscribe, and also hit that bell icon so you can stay up to date with everything we're doing, because we've got plenty more reviews coming. Thanks for watching.